guys, welcome back to Foul Play Friday on a Thursday for my channel. As always, these videos are not intended for children under the age of 14, and due to the graphic nature of true crime, viewer discretion is advised. I do deliver these videos in an ASMR style, which is why I am whispering. I get so many comments asking why I'm whispering. It's ASMR. But I mean no disrespect to anybody by whispering. So today we are going to be talking about a serial killer that I had never heard of before. But this was a Patreon request. If you are interested in more content from me, I will leave my Patreon link below. So, today we will be talking about Charlie Brandt. In 2004, Charlie Brandt and his wife were living kind of this perfect life in the Florida Keys. Charlie had married his wife Terry in 1986, and they were one of those like almost disgustingly happy people. They were so in love. They had this perfect marriage. These two were just one of those couples that loved each other and really got along well. Now, Charlie had lived most of his life in Florida. He had moved to Florida in his early teenage years, and he had worked in the Bahamas for a few years, but mostly he was just a Florida guy. He was an engineer. He was really very bright and intelligent. So in 2004, Charlie and Terry are just living their normal lives. Nothing remarkable is really going on with them as a couple. But Hurricane Ivan is heading toward Florida. And so the people who live in the Florida Keys are told that they should evacuate. Charlie thinks this is the most ridiculous thing, and he doesn't want to go, but his wife Terry is very insistent that they just go. They just leave for a couple of days. And so they really were not expecting to be gone long. Before they left, they kind of boarded up the house, as I guess you just know how to do if you live in the Florida Keys. And they packed up their car and they drove away. Neither one of them realizing they would never return. Terry and Charlie were planning on going into Orlando to stay with Terry's niece, Michelle. And they had stayed with her before. They were actually really excited to see her. And so they drive out there, and that first day that they get there, Michelle has invited one of her friends to come over a little bit later on in the evening. But she ends up calling this friend and saying, hey, we've all been drinking a lot, and now Terry and Charlie are kind of fighting, so it's probably not the best time for you to come say hi. Now, they were such good friends that she was really looking forward to coming and seeing her best friends and an uncle, but she's like, okay, no problem, I'll just, we'll see them later. The rest of their days spent at Michelle's house were pretty uneventful. Charlie's father and sister lived near Orlando, so he went to visit them babysitting her. He was kind of like annoyed that Terry had even insisted that they come to Orlando. He's like, I think everything would have been fine. I'm just, I'm ready to go home. Terry and Charlie were planning on leaving and going back home on the 12th. And Charlie just seemed like he could not get out of there fast enough. He had kind of been chomping on the bit the whole stay at Michelle's house. So the next day, their bags are packed. They're sitting by the front door, and all of a sudden, Charlie decides he wants to stay for one more day. And nobody really knows what brought on this sudden, change from wanting to go home to wanting to stay. Now, Michelle and her mother, Mary Lou, have this incredibly close bond. They talk to each other on the phone all the time, several times a day. They're kind of just checking in with each other and seeing what's going on. And so on September 13th, Mary Lou tries to get a hold of Michelle a few times, and she doesn't answer. But, she knows her sister and husband are there, and she figures maybe she's just kind of busy. But one day passes, and then two, and Mary Lou cannot get a hold of Michelle, and she can't get a hold of Terry, her sister. So she calls one of Michelle's really good friends named Debbie, and they were such good friends that they had keys to each other's houses. And so she calls Debbie and says, hey, something weird is going on. I can't get a hold of Terry. I can't get a hold of Michelle. Would you mind just popping in and seeing what's going on over there? So Debbie grabs her keys and heads over to Michelle's house. And on her way, she calls another friend of theirs who is named Lisa. And she was actually the friend who was planning to come over that first night that Charlie and Terry were there. And so she's kind of telling Lisa, how weird this is. And then she asks Lisa, hey, will you just come meet me at Michelle's house? And she agrees. So Debbie pulls up to the house, and she knocks on the door. She rings the doorbell, and you know how after you knock, you kind of sit and wait to see if you hear someone coming or movement in the house. But she didn't hear anything, and she starts knocking on the door and kind of banging on the door, ringing the doorbell. Both Terry and Charlie's car and Michelle's car is parked out front, so they couldn't really be anywhere. So she gets out her key and she's kind of frantically trying to get inside, but for whatever reason, she cannot get the door to unlock. I don't know if she was trying to use the wrong key or what, but she's kind of getting hysterical at this point, and she's just beating on the door, and she begins going around to all of the windows on the home, banging on them and screaming Michelle's name. And as she makes her way around the house, she comes to the garage window, and through the glass door she can see right inside, and what she sees makes her blood run cold. Michelle's uncle, Charlie, is hanging in the garage by a bedsheet, and she immediately runs out front and calls 911. When police arrive, they use Debbie's key to unlock the door, police. However, this was likely Debbie's saving grace, because the scene these officers were about to stumble upon was so horrific that many of them came running right back outside to vomit. Inside Michelle's home, they find Terry slumped over on the couch, dead. She has 7 stab wounds to her chest. And then they kind of make their way into Michelle's bedroom, and they're not really expecting to find her alive. But what they do find is also nothing any of them could have expected. Michelle is laying on her bed. So her cause of death was a stab wound to the chest. But after she was dead, she had been decapitated and her head was just sitting on the bed next to her. And her body had been very badly mutilated. And I'm not going to go into details, but I will say organs were removed. Also, all of her bras and underwear were scattered all around the room, and they were all like Victoria's Secret brand. In the hours after the bodies were discovered, everyone was so confused. Who would have wanted to hurt Michelle and Terry like this? Nobody could even fathom that someone would come in and do this to these people. But police realized this was not a triple homicide. This was a murder-suicide. But even that left people confused. Why would Charlie do this? I mean, this is his wife of almost 20 years and his niece who he loved. It just was like baffling. It was so hard to try and find a motive to this case. Police immediately pull all of Charlie's records, but this guy is clean. Not even a speeding ticket. He's never been in trouble with the law. There are no red flags here at all. And they really feel like pretty stuck in this investigation. It just doesn't make any sense. Until they interview Charlie's sister, Angela, who tells them Charlie has killed before. And they're like, no, what are you talking about? He definitely hasn't, because we have his records right here. And Angela says, well, the last time Charlie murdered someone, he was 13 years old, so those records have been sealed. And then she goes on to tell police about the most horrific experience she has ever had. In 1971, the Brandt family, which consisted of Angela, who was 15 years old, Charlie, who was 13 years old, and then 2 younger sisters, all lived with their mom and dad in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And their mother was 8 months pregnant. And they were just this totally normal family. So what happened next shocked the entire community. On January 3rd, 1971, the was standing over the bathroom sink, like washing his face, brushing his teeth. And out of the corner of his eye, he saw Charlie coming into the bathroom. And he yells at him like, "Hey, don't come in here," because, the mother was in there in the tub. And Charlie walks into the bathroom, and his father realizes he's carrying a gun. Charlie lifts up the gun, points it at his dad, and his dad kind of turns, and Charlie fires one shot into his dad's back. Then he walks over and stands over his mother, who is in the tub, 8 months pregnant, and fires 5 rounds into her body. Angela is in the other room, and she has heard this commotion, and before she can even make her way into her parents' bedroom to see what's going on, Charlie's standing in her doorway, pointing a gun right at her face. Charlie pulls the trigger, and Angela hears a click, but nothing happens. And for whatever reason, this gun had not fired. And so soon Angela and Charlie are on the floor wrestling each other, and she's trying to get this gun out of his hands. And she's saying, "Charlie, what are you doing? I am your sister. I love you. Charlie, stop." And she said he had this totally glazed over look in his eyes. It didn't even look like him. And then all of a sudden he kind of snapped out of it, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, what did I do? What just happened? What did I do?" Angela and Charlie are both freaking out at this point. Angela is terrified of her brother, and she wants to get away from him, but she's trying to remain calm so he doesn't freak out and kill her too. So she's like, "Okay, Charlie, we have to leave. We need to leave. But we cannot leave without the little girls, so go upstairs and get a blanket and we'll wrap them up." Because remember, this is January. And he's like, "Promise me you aren't gonna leave. Promise you're not gonna leave me." And she's like, "Charlie, I promise." And so he starts slowly walking up the stairs backward, and he's staring at Angela, and he's saying, "Don't leave me, Angela. Promise me you're not gonna leave." And he's just slowly making his way up those stairs, but he will not turn his back around. And when he gets far enough away, Angela just turns around and takes off running. Angela is covered in her parents' blood. She is barefoot, running through the snow, screaming at the top of her lungs. She runs to a neighbor's house, and she is pounding on the door. And she looks behind her, and Charlie is making his way up to this same neighbor's house, and he's screaming kind of across the yard, "You promised you wouldn't leave me. You promised." And she takes off running to a different neighbor's house. She does not want Charlie to catch up to her. But Charlie goes up to this first neighbor's house, and he knocks on the door. And this young woman answers, and he calmly says, "I killed my parents." Police and paramedics were called to the scene, and Charlie's dad did survive this attack, but his mother and her unborn child did not. father, in fact, he was kind of a mama's boy. He was never a bad kid. He had no issues at school or with other kids. Like, he was just a normal kid. So Charlie underwent several psychological evaluations by several different therapists who were trying to figure out, like, is there an underlying diagnosis that could explain this? But they could never find anything. They said he was just a totally normal kid who snapped. Charlie never served time for these crimes. He spent just 1 year in a mental hospital, and it's rumored that his father was very instrumental in getting him out after 1 year. So 1 year after he kills his mother and her unborn baby, he is released from this mental hospital, and his father moves the entire family to Florida for a fresh start. His parents, so Charlie's grandparents, lived in Florida, and I'm not sure if he was thinking, I'm a single father now, I need help, or if he really did just want Charlie to have a fresh start where no one knew him. But they moved to Florida, and real quickly, the two younger sisters never knew what happened to their mother until 2004. They were told that their mother died in a car accident, and no one ever told them their whole lives. So anyway, basically this family just stopped talking about it, and they just tried to move on, and that was how they dealt with the whole situation. A little while later, Charlie's dad remarries and ends up moving his family back to Indiana, but he leaves Charlie with the grandparents in Florida. So now we're back to 2004, and the police are hearing this story from Angela, and they realize Charlie wasn't just this normal guy. Charlie had a very dark side to him, and from looking at the crime scene that they discovered at Michelle's house, they realized he had probably killed before. This crime scene was very clean. It was very meticulous, and that kind of indicated to them that this was not his first time. The more they looked into Charlie's life, the more disturbing tidbits they would find. And this person told him this story, which was pretty weird, and this person told him this story, and maybe individually people just thought, wow, he's kind of weird. But all of these stories together painted a very different picture of Charlie Brandt. So his sister Angela would go on to tell police she was always a little scared of her brother. She forgave him and they tried to move on, but she never wanted him around her children, and she was always scared. One time he came to visit her and stayed with her, and she slept with her bedroom door locked. They also spoke to several of Charlie's co-workers who said he seemed to be a little bit infatuated with his niece Michelle. He talked about her all the time, and he didn't call her Michelle. He called her Victoria's Secret. That was his little nickname for her. And remember, her bedroom was littered with Victoria's Secret lingerie. So that was weird. Charlie's best friend Jim was also interviewed by police. Now, Jim seemed to be one of the only people that knew Charlie's past. And the reason for that is because Jim had been married to Charlie's sister, Angela, at one point. That's actually how they met each other. And so Angela had told her husband, feeling like, you probably need to know this. But Jim kind of felt like, they were past that. He really liked Charlie, and this didn't deter him from having this very close friendship with his wife's brother. Well, a few years later, Angela and Jim split up, and Jim goes to stay with his best friend Charlie to kind of nurse his wounds. And they were just doing a lot of guy time, drinking a lot of beer, going fishing. But Jim tells police about this one time when they were out fishing and they were both very drunk, and Jim's kind of just going off about Angela and how he wants revenge. And Charlie says, well, the best revenge, the most perfect revenge, is if you kill someone and then you eat their heart. Years later, another very disturbing story would come up to Jim. Terry actually went to her husband's best friend and said she was really worried about Charlie. She had come home early from work one day, so I guess they had this fish gutting room off of their garage, and Terry had come home and she had gone in there, and Charlie was completely covered in blood. And Jim's kind of brushing Terry off. He's like, yeah, but it's a fish gutting room, there's always blood. And Terry's like, yeah, but there were no fish. And also, they had just found a mutilated body of a woman in a rowboat not far from where we live. And she's like, Jim, I think Charlie may be involved in this. I think I need to go to police. And Jim talks her down. He's like, look, you cannot go to police because when they rule out Charlie, which they will, he will never get over this. This will end your marriage. So Terry never did. There were also some very alarming things found in Charlie and Terry's home. He had a collection of anatomy books. He was an engineer, so it wasn't like he needed them for reference because he was a doctor. So, a collection of anatomy books. He had this poster, this anatomy poster on the back of his bedroom door. And it shows this woman's body cut in half, and one side shows the skeletal system, and the other side shows the muscular system. Police also searched his computer, and his search history was very alarming. They found searches for autopsy photos, snuff films, and necrophilia sites. In the home, police also found this little day planner journal thing that Terry had. And this wasn't something that she would write all of her hopes and dreams and things like that in. She would just write a few things every now and again, went and got drinks with the girls tonight, or went to a movie with Charlie. But police found some entries in this journal that were Charlie stayed out all night, or Charlie snuck out of the house at 1 a.m. Stuff like that. After finding all of this evidence, police realize they need to open this huge investigation and look at all of these unsolved murders from the area, kind of with the same MO, and see if they can tie any of them to Charlie. They looked at up to 26 cases with a similarities to Michelle and Terry's murder. And even though police have looked into a lot of these, there's no official list or release that ever came out saying they had tied him to these murders. Now, there were 2 victims who were killed, and the circumstances were so similar that they have been tied to Charlie. The first one was named Sherry Parijo. Now, this was the woman whose body had been found in a rowboat near Charlie's home. The one Terry had been worried that he had killed. She had been decapitated and her heart had been removed. So her body was found in a rowboat, and you could tell that the rowboat had been used as like a cutting board for her body to be cut up. Now, this was back years earlier, and all police had to go on was this composite sketch that had been created from witnesses who saw a man running from the scene of the crime. And this picture does look like Charlie. There was another woman killed in 1995 linked to Charlie, and her name was Darlene Tower. Her body was found wrapped up in tarp and then wrapped up in a blanket on the side of a highway. And when they found her body, her head and heart were missing as well. On Darlene's body, there were dog hairs found. And when police searched Charlie's car, in the back of his car, they found similar dog hairs. And they were able to DNA test these dog hairs and match them. So that is how they, for sure, tied Charlie to this crime. But the weird thing is, Charlie and Terry didn't have a dog. So police look into this, and they find that Charlie had done a favor for one of his friends and taken her dog to the vet one day. And this was around the time that this woman was killed. And so, again, they're able to tie this back to Charlie. Now, Charlie kept travel logs, meticulous logs of all of his mileage. And on the day when she went missing, there was this 100 miles unaccounted for in his travel logs. While there may be up to 20, even more victims of Charlie's, those are the only 2 that have kind of been confirmed. There could be a much larger number. And unfortunately, he died. He kind of took the coward's way out, and I feel like these victims never got justice in this case. It's so interesting to me. I really want to know what happened that last day that they were all together. What made Charlie change his mind and not want to leave, and kind of what brought this all on. But of course, that is something we will never know. This was the story of the serial killer, Charlie Brandt. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I also just want to thank my Patreons. Truly thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. These times are so crazy and so uncertain, and I just want you to know that I truly appreciate your support. I'll see you guys next time.